Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the best cards to buy here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM. I am on my quote-unquote no money spent account. It will eventually be my no money spent account. This is the account that I actually pre-ordered the game on, which is why I have my pre-order bonuses on this account. I never got them on my main account, which is the account I make all my videos on, because that's not actually the account I ordered the game on, which is kind of dumb. So at some point, we'll do a no money spent episode, but that's beside the point. I will start that series down the road at some point, probably when they come out with some big spotlight grind or something. Will be the perfect time to start that up, but that's not the topic of today's video. Today's video is talking about a few players at each position that are the best cards to buy right now in my team, and we're talking about top tier guys. Like, these are the guys who I would recommend targeting at that position right now if you want to get elite players on your team that you can buy from the player market, basically, is what you're looking at in this video. So before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push to the 14,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, tons and tons of content. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. So without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with the point guard position, the person that I think is honestly the best auctionable point guard currently in my team is actually going to be down here in the Legendary Path Dirk Nowitzki set, and it is this Jason Kidd. He's a monster, bro. He is so good defensively. 6'4", can hit open threes, great passer, decent ball handler, can't dunk the ball, but he's so big and so elite defensively. High steal, high perimeter, high interior for a guard, 85 lateral quickness, bunch of defensive badges. He is such a good playmaking and defensive PG. Not a great scorer, but that is okay. We can surround him with other guys who can score the ball at a high level. I think Jason Kidd, for his defense, he is not going to be your best on-ball point guard, but he's not even going to be really the primary ball handler in this team. J Kidd for 84K MT is expensive, but I think he is an absolute monster at the point guard position. I know he's kind of expensive, but I don't know. I feel like he's worth it. And then we have another point guard that I think is also very good, which is going to come from the Mirage set, which is this Derrick Rose. He's also elite. Unfortunately, D Rose's release is a little bit baited, I feel like, and he's not as elite of a defender as a Jason Kidd. He's a much better slasher than Kidd and has much better SIGs, and he's also much faster. But I don't think the improved slashing and finishing in SIGs is quite enough to justify the lack of defense, and also the fact that his jumper is just pretty poor. He doesn't have a great jump shot. With that being said, he's still a great card and is still a top 5 point guard in my team, so definitely still think he's a great option at the point guard position. For 140,000 MT, I do think he's a great option as well, but I would prefer J Kidd. And then the third guy that I'll shout out real quickly is Sapphire Brandon Jennings. He's one of the best budget cards in the game, not including a ton of budget cards on this list, but I do have a couple, and Brandon Jennings is one of the ones that I want to shout out. He's also actually in the Legendary Path Dirk Nowitzki set, I do believe. Another very good card. He's an elite offensive card with a phenomenal release, can also dunk, which is valuable at the PG position because a lot of these top PGs can't dunk right now. So that is very, very nice. Amazing release, really good movement, great offensive shooting guard, or point guard, I should say. Shooting guard, I actually think the best option is this Legendary Path Devin Booker. I understand he's super expensive. He's about 100,000 VC, which is expensive, I do understand, but I don't actually think it's ridiculous. I know that's an expensive set, but like, it's more expensive than 140,000 MT. Amethyst normally would be, but you're buying it with VC instead, which is a currency you can only get obviously by spending money or by grinding in my career or something like that. But I think he's a great card. He's going to be more than 100,000, the equivalent. He's going to be more than 140,000 if you do buy him with MT. But I do think he is an amazing, amazing card at the shooting guard position. One of the best shooting guards in all of my team. Has an incredible fade. Just a really, really good card who I think people are realizing how good Devin Booker is. He's one of the best couple shooting guards in the game for sure. He's phenomenal card. One of the best scorers in the game by easily. Another guy who's an amazing shooting guard option y'all should look to target is Dr. J. I think Dr. J and Vince are both very good options. I prefer Dr. J though. He's got an incredible release. John Wall base, Rudy Gay upper, or maybe vice versa. But either way, really smooth, easy release. Dunks the ball incredibly well. Afro makes him look super tall. He's got MJ dribble style, which is huge. Very, very good slasher, and then has good defensive badges as well. I know he's only got a 73 ball, but I don't care that much. I really like the card. I think he's super solid. And then another guy a little bit more, not on the budget side by any means, but cheaper, is going to be this Latrell Sprewell. 70,000 MT, 50,000 VC for a guy who's a really versatile all-around shooting guard. He defends well, has a really nice release, 83 ball, 80 driving dunks, silver posterizer, can handle a little bit, really versatile, good defender with a 74 interior. You can play him as a lock, you can play him off the ball. He's going to be a great secondary defender. He's got good speed, nice release, dunks the ball well. Really, really nice option at the shooting guard position for that 70K MT mark as a cheaper alternative to guys like Booker, Dr. J, and Vince Carter. Small forward position right right now, I feel like the guys you want to be targeting, number one is definitely Scottie Pippen again from the Mirage set. Pippen is an absolute monster at the shooting guard at the small forward position. There's no doubt about that at all. He's the best small forward in the game right now. 140,000 MT for a card with a ton of longevity, who has Hall of Fame clamps, Hall of Fame challenger, a money release, great size, super fast, very capable defender, a very capable slasher, I'd say, and obviously an exceptional defender. One of the best cards in the game, still will probably be one of the best couple small forwards for a while. He's a card who has longevity, despite being pretty expensive. Iggy is a day one card, but I think Andre Iguodala is still one of the best small forwards in the game, especially of the not very affordable options, like outside of the super not affordable options. There just aren't that many super high top tier small forwards. Like Grant Hill would be a good option as well. I didn't actually include him really as a primary guy on this list, but I do think Grant Hill is a good option as well. At the small forward position, he's going to be the same price as Booker. I don't think he's quite as good as Booker at his position, but I think Grant Hill is a top 3 or so small forward in my team still, so a very good card as well that you could consider if you want somebody. Iggy's going to be a cheaper, he's more of a 3-and-D small forward, but he's a very good 3-and-D small forward. Speaking of 3-and-D small forwards, the best 3-and-D small forward in the game right now for a budget player anyway is this Jordan Walsh. 5.6 thousand MT for this card is amazing. I've talked about him a ton on that channel. He's an amazing card. He and Iggy are both phenomenal 3-and-D options. I think Jordan Walsh, though, one of my favorite options in the game, period, because this price point, to be able to have a card who can actually compete at a competitive level is just incredibly useful right now. Power forward position, the number one power forward, honestly, borderline in the game, is this Shawn Kemp. He is absolutely amazing. Now, you do have to remember at the power forward position, there are already a couple of very good free cards available in Draymond Green, and who was the other power forward who's free, who's good? Jabari Smith. Couple of good free power forwards there that you can use on your squad, but if you're buying somebody, I do think Shawn Kemp's going to be your best option. He is the same price as these legendary path players to collect his whole set if you're having to buy it all, but a lot of people pulled a lot of these players unsellable because there were multiple opportunities to get unsellable level up packs last weekend with equal chance cards in them, and those were pretty sick, and a lot of people got some of these top tier cards, which made this set a lot cheaper. When he's evoed, he's a really, really good card. He's got a super nice release, super athletic, defends much better than you'd think, and is one of the best power forwards in the game. Really like the card a lot. Another guy that I like, who I don't think it's talked about barely at all, honestly, is Thurl Bailey. I understand he has a very low 3-ball. It's only a 56, and it's not great, but he's super athletic. He's big at 6'11". He's got a really smooth release. I wish the 3-ball was a little higher, but with a shoe or something, he's going to be a capable enough shooter because his release is really nice. He's a really, really good card. Not the best defender in the world, but very versatile and long, has good speed for a power forward, good lateral quickness, capable strength and vertical and things like that. I like this Thurl Bailey card, and I also like Karl Malone a lot too. That's another Mirage card. It's a card that I think is a little bit overlooked, but is really, really nice, as I cannot find the Mirage set right now. Am I just blind? There it is. But Karl Malone, despite only having like 66 speed, 64 3-ball or something like that, his release is butter. He feels fast. He dominates on the interior. He is really, really physical. Just a really nice card. Again, for that 70K price point, a bit cheaper than a guy like Shawn Kemp is going to be. I think Karl Malone is a great option as well as Thurl Bailey. But honestly, in my opinion, I would just use a free card like Draymond Green and then pony up for Shawn Kemp, and you can have two absolutely phenomenal power forwards there. But at the center position, I do think the best center in the game, not named Shaquille O'Neal right now, is Anthony Davis, and I think he is 100% worth the 140K. If there was any card in the game that I was going to tell you to spend 140,000 MT right now on, it would be this Anthony Davis, because you could have a 5-man lineup of free Kyrie, free Brandon Roy, free Clyde Drexler, free Draymond Green, and then Anthony Davis, who's the second best big in the game and is going to be your best bet to counter Shaq. Can stretch the floor, shoot the 3, has good athleticism, decent speed, really, really good option to center position, half anchor on the interior, elite defender. He is a phenomenal card. In my opinion, the best card to buy on the player market right now in my team is this Anthony Davis card. I highly recommend picking this card up. If you can buy any one card from the player market, it's going to be this AD, because you can surround the rest of your team pretty much with free cards and budget cards. If you have AD and one more center, maybe a backup big as well, you are going to be chilling. Speaking of some backup big options, Hakeem Olajuwon is also 140K. He is not as good as AD. He has a 43 ball and 63 speed, but he is a really good interior. He is going to be your best physical counter to Shaq, although he is significantly slower than Shaq, but he's still a dominant inside big and a top 3 or 4 center in my team for 140,000 MT. So I think he's really good. Honestly, a guy like Giannis as well, y'all probably have the HOF pass or at least the Pro Pass. I think most people got at least that pass between all the stuff that you can get for the rewards between my team and everything, as well as other modes like my career and park and stuff. So I don't know. You might have that Giannis. I know he's not in the player market, but he's a card who I think can 100% play as your backup center still as well. Would definitely consider throwing him in there. If you can have AD and Giannis as your center duo, you have Kyrie and then pay for maybe Jason Kidd as your backup PG. Starting shooting guard, this is Roy. You pay for Devin Booker as your backup point guard, or backup shooting guard. You buy a couple budget small forwards like Jordan Walsh, and then that free Clyde Drexler could be your small forwards. And then at power forwards, you have Draymond, and maybe you get one more power forward like somebody like a Sean Kemp. So you have a couple of not auctionable, player market type cards, maybe one or two lock-ins, but just sticking with some of the amethyst and then filling the rest of your team out with these free cards and budget cards. And you can have an amazing team without spending really any money if you just grind the game a bit. So a lot of good cards to buy right now. Definitely these are the guys that I'd be targeting though. So hopefully this video was interesting to y'all and helped y'all out with who you want to target at what position in my team right now. So hopefully y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.